today I have a brow tutorial for you guys. So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I haven't because I feel like I'm the type of person, like I'm a perfectionist with things. I wanted to wait to do this until I felt like I've perfected my brows. Now, I still don't think I've perfected my brows. In fact, I feel like I've done far from that. Like, I don't hate the way that my brows look, but I still feel like I have some work to do with my brows. But I'm doing this now because I don't think I'm ever gonna perfect my brows, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be totally satisfied with the way that I do them. So I figured, why not just go ahead and just do this video for you guys so you guys can kind of see, and like I can show you guys that it doesn't have to be perfect, and just as long as you like the way that they look, it doesn't really matter. And all that matters to me is that I try my hardest, and they look different every single day. They never look the same. People that have their eyebrows that literally look identical in every single picture, I just don't understand how they do it. But mine, I've just been working on it, and I do know that I've gotten a lot better from when I first started like doing makeup. I went from not even filling my brows to just kind of using a powder and never really like worrying about the shape of them, just kind of filling them in how they naturally are, which is a disaster. That's just not how it's supposed to go, to learning to, I kind of have to make my own shape with the product that I use. So brows are something that you just kind of have to sit down and practice and practice and practice, and I've literally been practicing for years and I still don't have it down pat. So I still wanted to do this though, so you guys can kind of see what I do to perfect my brows. So anyways, if you guys want to see how I got these brows, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first things first is I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow pomade in the color Soft Brown. I also have this in chocolate, but chocolate is way too dark for me, especially now that I have some blonde in my hair. But it looks like this, and a lot of people I feel are kind of intimidated by this product, but you shouldn't be. It is a product that you definitely have to get used to, but it's an amazing product. It works really well, and I can't say enough good things about it. It stays all day long in your brows. It will not budge. In fact, I have a hard time getting it off. This stuff is amazing and it works really well. You have to use a light hand and you have to know how to use it, but you can use it and it is easy to use. So this is what I use. And then at the end, just to kind of for my personal effects, because I actually use this with kind of a light hand. It may look like it's harsh, but I am using it with a light hand. In the end, I will also use one of the Anastasia. This is the Brow Wiz Loose Powder in medium brown. I don't even think they sell this anymore, but I got this about a year and a half ago, and this stuff works amazing. It's just a loose version of their the regular like pressed brow powders that they have. And then the brush that I use is the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. It comes with a spoolie on the side and an amazing angled brush on this side. It's very thin. I recommend this brush if you're going to use Dipbrow. If you're having a hard time with the Dipbrow, or the Dipbrow is not working for you, it actually may be because you're not using the right brush. If you use the wrong brush for this, it's not, the Dipbrow doesn't work as well. Like for instance, the MAC, what is this? The 266 brush. I love this brush, but I use this for the powder. I don't use this for the Dipbrow. It's way too thick compared to the Anastasia one. It's super thick, and this is actual real hair, whereas this one is synthetic, and the synthetic is going to pick up the Dipbrow better, whereas this is going to pick up powder better. So it's just also a lot about the brush that you use. Can also determine how your brows are gonna work and how the Dipbrow is gonna turn out for you. So what I do first is I will just brush my hairs with a spoolie. I just kind of brush them out. So I just want to dip very slightly into the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade, get some product on the brush, and then what I even do is kind of wipe off a little bit and dab off the sides to make sure I don't have too much. So what I like to do is I like to start at the bottom of my brow and slowly start to feather in some color. So basically with this, what the key is to doing eyebrows a good way is basically like light feather, like hair-like strokes to kind of create that hair effect. So I just like to start under the brow and just kind of get a line started underneath the brow, while the product is still kind of wet, I like to kind of just slightly start to bring it up. Reason being because I don't want too harsh of a line underneath my brow. I don't want that line sitting as an actual line. I want it to be more blended. So I always start at the bottom. And then what I'll do is I'll start to like underneath create my tail and start where my arch goes. So as you can tell, I'm just slowly starting to flick the product down and into a point. So as you can already start seeing, we already have some kind of structure to our brow. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start doing the top line. Now at this point, this is where you can choose to just kind of continue just feathering it up, but I like to start and fill up the top and then fill it in. Only because I don't have much structure to my brow. My hairs are just kind of everywhere. So I like to kind of like fake the structure with the brow product. So I will start once again, probably just a little bit in from where my arch is gonna go. And I will just start to slowly but surely feather in, once again, that product. And once again, just to make sure that the line is not too harsh, I do start to fill it in. Okay, so you guys can kind of see I'm starting to get that shape. Now we're gonna do like the curve and the arch. So this is the part that I struggle with, and this is the part that never looks perfect on me, but it's almost never going to be perfect. And if you can't get your brows perfect and you look a brow person, good for you, but I'm just not that person. This is just kind of my technique to kind of getting it as close to perfect as I can. So what I'll do is, my arch is too far in this way, so I like to try to extend it a little bit further out. So what I'll do is I'll kind of take this line even further, kind of fake it like the brow goes out that far, do you see? And then I will start to curve this down, trying to make sure I'm not making them too thick, and connecting it with that point, and then filling this part in. So here it's basically I'm faking an arch that is more towards the outer corner of my eye rather than it being way too far in, because that's when your brows start looking kind of weird. Got my arch, and I'm pretty much like, you guys can see the definition, like that's almost done. So what I'll do here is I'll just kind of go through and see if there's any harsh lines, like where I drew the lines on the top and bottom. I'll just kind of start to fade those in, and I work on the inner part of my brow very last. So I'll just kind of take the brow product and just, once again, very light strokes through the brow. Right here where I kind of filled it in, where I actually don't have much hair at the top here, I like to make sure I'm really making sure I've got that filled in, so it kind of matches, so it doesn't look so drawn on, it looks more natural. And when I'm done with that, I will start to slowly fade it in. So this, I'm using a very small amount of product, and I once again start at the bottom. So I just kind of draw the line and connect it with the rest of the brow, and then I'll do the top line. I will very lightly do this because I don't want them to look too drawn and fake, but you guys can see that definition now. And then I will start to feather in this way. For the very, very front of my brow, the brush, I will keep the taller side down, or the longer side down, like this, and I will flick the brush up and kind of push that into the hairs right there. Okay, and there is that brow done. I'm gonna go and do this brow so I don't look so weird, and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I have both of my brows filled in, if I feel it is necessary, I will put a little bit of this brow powder on. And I am going to do just a tiny bit today, but only on the outer corner, not in towards like the center of my brow. And I'm going to use the 266 MAC brush for that, because like I said, this brush is really good with powder. And I basically just, like right here where I had to kind of fake that I have a brow, I just kind of pretty much put it there. Very light strokes, and there's that. Now I'm just going to take a concealer, and I like the MAC Studio Fix concealer, or Studio Finish concealer, sorry, for this part, and I take a MAC 212 brush, which is just this little flat top brush, and I will dip this in. I don't like a concealer too thin, or else it just kind of runs everywhere and it kind of goes into the brow, so I like a concealer that's a little bit thicker so that it can like really go where I want it to. And what I do with this is just kind of clean up the bottom of the brow. I will just kind of take this and run this all along the bottom of my brow. And then what I do with that same brush, no more product on the brush, I will just kind of start bringing this down a little bit to blend it. So the next thing that I do is I take the Duo Fiber Eye Brush from Real Techniques, and I will just kind of blend that out even further just to make sure there's no harsh concealer lines underneath my brows, because it's the worst when you see somebody with their brows done and they have this harsh concealer line right underneath their brow. So after that, what I'll usually do is just put a brow gel on, but I actually wait till the very last. That's like the very last step I do of my whole makeup routine, because if they mess up any while I'm doing anything else, like my eyeshadow or anything, I want to touch them up before I put the brow gel on, because kind of like once you put the brow gel on, that's it, you shouldn't touch them anymore. Another thing is, if you don't have brow gel, you can just take the spoolie of your brush, spray the spoolie with hairspray, and kind of run that through your brows, and that will work really well as a brow gel as well, because obviously it's hairspray, it's meant for your hair. So yeah, so that is how I do my brows. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys did like this video, give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, then subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.